Next up, the world premiere of the next major Life is Strange game.
When I moved to Haven Springs, I hadn't seen my brother Gabe in years.
Alex!
It's just so good to see you again. Welcome to Haven.
This place is pretty sweet.
I'm so happy. There's a new Life is Strange game coming out. Well, I guess I have no choice but to play all of the others again. Let's get this right out there early doors. I'm a huge fan of this series. I recommend anyone who enjoys their own sort of choose your own adventure, story focused game, this is something that you must play. So after the success of Don't Nod's Life is Strange in 2015, Deck 9 brought a prequel to us 2 years later. A 3-episode adventure returning to Arcadia Bay with an additional bonus episode titled Farewell. But the whole package, that's called Life is Strange Before the Storm. Here is Chloe Price, a give-no-shit 16-year-old who doesn't have time for your crap. When we meet Chloe, her life isn't that great. Her childhood best friend Max took off to Seattle 2 years ago and has stopped all contact. Her dad has also been dead for 2 years, and her mother is now dating an absolute douche. Chloe is alone, failing in school, and is just angry at the world. This is who we play as in Before the Storm. A quick side note. If you've never played a Life is Strange game before, I recommend starting with this one. Yes, if you have played the original Life is Strange, you're going to just be happy to return to the world of Arcadia Bay, to see Chloe, to see your old friends. It's a lovely feeling. But if this is your first venture into the world, start with Before the Storm. It brings a lot more gravity to the story of the original Life is Strange. Food for thought. The story here is a lot more grounded than the other Life is Strange games. There's no telekinesis or time travel, just a lonely girl meeting a new friend, and that friend being Rachel Amber. Rachel Amber's absence is a massive part of the original Life is Strange game. She is a huge character and driving motivation for the story without actually interacting with our protagonists. We do get to know bits and pieces about her, but that's through the stories Chloe and Frank tell. This time we actually get to meet her, spend time with her, and learn why Rachel is such a big part of Chloe's life. While Ashley Birch does return as Chloe for the extra Farewell episode, as well as Hannah Tell returning as Max, she is replaced by Rianne DeVries for the actual Before the Storm game. This was due to an ongoing voice actor strike that Ashley Birch was a part of. She did, however, work as a character consultant for the script. Now, while I do miss Ashley Birch as Chloe, but that's mainly because I adore Ashley Birch in absolutely anything, I do find that DeVries does a wonderful job taking over. There is more of an innocence to the performance, which makes sense as we are seeing a younger Chloe. Series newcomer Kylie Brown also does a wonderful job as Rachel Amber. There is a sadness in her performance that fits so well to the character, while also masking it with the happy-go-lucky, free spirit attitude. This is also a Life is Strange game, meaning we have to talk about the soundtrack, which is excellent. We can really just assume that at this point if you know the series. The band Daughter made an album of music just for this game, both songs and background score, and they hit the tone of the game brilliantly. We also have Lanterns on the Lake, Broods, Wolf Alice, and a few others with songs in the soundtrack. Music has always been a huge part of these games, and as you will most likely notice, I will gush over the soundtrack in every single video I do about them. Now, I am talking about the original games today. With the announcement of True Colours, we also got the announcement of a remastered collection of the original and also Before the Storm coming out later this year. Before the Storm did definitely fix some of the issues that plagued Life is Strange, mainly the lip syncing and having actual emotion on the characters' faces. In general, the graphics have improved as much as a normal game improves after 2 years. We still see the unique art style of the pictures and news articles you find around the world, which I personally am a fan of, but I know might take some people out of it a little. The gameplay also remains pretty much the same. We go along with the story, interacting with the world and its characters, making choices which will affect later events. There are also some simple environmental puzzles and the occasional fetch quest, but the main thing will always be the choices you make and their outcomes. Chloe's power, so to speak, is her ability to backtalk. A small minigame of sorts in which you match wits with somebody, listen to their comment and pick the response which you think is best.
Je m'appelle don't give a shit.
It's an interesting little mechanic, which is never used too much, and I think really works well with the character. Lastly, we also have the bonus episode Farewell, which is very simple. We are back playing as Max, spending a day with Chloe before you leave with your family to go to Seattle. I'm not really going to get into this. It's a short little episode which is very bittersweet, but I think that it has to be played after everything those two original games have to give. And that is how it was released. But again, if you're yet to play a Life is Strange game, I actually recommend starting with Before the Storm. While never reaching the emotional heights of the original Life is Strange, Before the Storm adds context and a new layer to the original, while also standing on its own as a brilliant story of bonding and youth. And honestly, any extra time we get to spend with Chloe is a blessing. And that's Before the Storm. We've still got Life is Strange and Life is Strange 2 to come. I will definitely be doing videos on both of those. I'm a massive fan of the entire series. Cannot wait until later on in the year when True Colours comes out. This is so exciting. I hope to see you again soon, but for now, goodbye.